Hi, my name's Ash Butterss, and I'm here to share with you what school doesn't teach you about happiness. It took me years of addiction and an eventual rock bottom to learn what I'm here to share with you today. So to start, I'd love you to put your hands up if you once believed in the tooth fairy. Okay, great. Now keep your hands up if you still do. That's what I thought. You see, most of the lies we're told as children, we stop believing by a certain age. But I wonder, what are the lies you still believe? Perhaps it's the lie that you'll find happiness in the next job promotion, the brand new car, or even your next relationship. The problem is, you achieve the thing you're striving for, only to feel a glimmer of happiness, and then you're back out searching for the next best thing. And life, spent searching for external sources to fill the internal void, leaves you disconnected from the one thing that can truly nourish your soul: yourself. Now, don't beat yourself up if you brought into this lie. You're not alone. Which explains why, according to the World Health Organization, 1 in 8 people live with a mental health condition, despite there being more opportunity and more abundance than ever before. I too brought into the lies society sells. Picture this. It's 2019. I'm flying around the world, working for a Fortune 500 company. I'm married, I own my own home, I'm living the Australian dream. And yet, inside, I felt like I was dying. I couldn't work out why, despite achieving all of the success that society told me I needed to be happy, I was miserable. In spite of the success, I turned to alcohol for relief. But the relief was short-lived, and I was left alone with nothing but my tears filling the empty bottles. Every morning I would wake with the same dreaded feeling of guilt, shame, and remorse. Who had I texted last night? What had I said? Yet no one knew what was truly going on because I was the master at hiding my pain behind a smile. In a hotel room in New York, halfway across the world, I woke up hungover with a splitting headache and a black eye. It was here that I experienced my first panic attack. The room grew smaller. I was struggling to breathe, and yet I didn't want to call an ambulance in case anyone found out. It was in this moment that I had an epiphany, a moment of clarity against the glittering facade of success. Nothing external would ever fill the internal void. I hit rock bottom in February 2020, and I checked myself into a psychiatric hospital. It was the turning point. You see, my epiphany had been correct. Everything I'd been chasing to make me feel happy was a lie. No amount of material goods or external validation would ever fill the hole in my soul. I suddenly realized that true happiness would only come from healing the relationship with myself. Growing up in a dysfunctional home, I developed some harmful coping mechanisms like a critical inner voice, the itty-bitty pity committee, who always told me I wasn't good enough. Yet sobriety has taught me how to befriend my inner critic and choose healing over avoidance. So, how do we find connection in a world that is more pseudo-connected than ever before? To understand this global disconnect, we first need to understand the human condition. Us humans hate to feel pain. So much so, we even have pain receptors built into our bodies, so that if you were to touch a hot stove, you'd pull away quickly. But what about emotional pain? Well, we don't like feeling that either. In fact, some people will go to any lengths to avoid emotional discomfort. So without receptors for emotional pain, we start to construct this invisible armor as a way to shield and protect ourselves. The problem is, carrying this armor into adulthood can lead to disconnection from others, but more importantly, disconnection from ourselves. Author and therapist John Bradshaw talks about emotions as energy in motion. When we prevent ourselves from feeling our emotions, they can stay stuck in the body, leading to emotional constipation and potential mental health disorders. I wonder, what is it that you use to avoid uncomfortable feelings? Maybe it's food, social media, or even work. The only way to remove this invisible armor is to lean in to the discomfort. You need to feel it to heal it. Now you might be wondering, but how do I lean in to discomfort? Well, it's in learning to sit with yourself. Now, I know, that might sound a little scary. It might even be a little bit uncomfortable. That's normal. In fact, a 2014 study led by psychologist Timothy Wilson from the University of Virginia demonstrated people's aversion to being alone with their thoughts. In this study, participants were asked to sit alone in a room for 6 to 15 minutes and entertain themselves with their thoughts. It was reported that some participants preferred to administer a mild electric shock than be alone with their thoughts. But here's a little secret. The brain loves visualization, and it's a powerful tool when learning to sit with yourself. So in moments when I'm feeling emotionally activated, rather than looking for something to distract and avoid, I use my heart visualization technique as a way to tune in and feel my feelings. It's super simple, and it only takes a couple of minutes. The first thing I do is I close down my eyes and I let the eyelids feel heavy. Then I slowly guide my awareness to my breath, and I feel into the breath as it moves within my body. As I inhale, I visualize a sense of tranquility flowing through me. As I exhale, I consciously release any tension that's stored within the body. Next, I guide my awareness to my heart space, and in the center, I visualize an emerald green gemstone. As I inhale, this emerald green light radiates brightly. As I exhale, it softens back to a subtle glow. With each inhale, this emerald green light grows even brighter. And on the exhale, it softens back to a subtle glow. I stay with the breath for around 6 to 8 full rounds, or until I feel ready, and then I gently open my eyes. This process allows me to feel my emotions rather than running away from them. And although at times it can be confronting, it's better than a mild electric shock, right? The final piece of the puzzle in cultivating authentic connection and genuine happiness is letting go of fear. Imagine a life where fear wasn't holding you back. What dreams would you be chasing? Fear, in its various forms, whether of failure, judgment, or the unknown, can hold us captive. How many people wake up daily, trapped in jobs they don't love, simply existing on the hamster wheel of life? If we spend an average of 13 years of our lives at work, why settle for a life where your dreams merely echo in your soul? I challenge you to let go of the fear that binds you to a life of mediocrity and to step into a life that is aligned to your purpose. My decision to face my fears transformed my life. Without it, I wouldn't have gone to rehab, achieved sobriety, or escaped a job that didn't fulfill me. When you stop caring about the opinions of others and reject the lies society sells, you can design a life that brings you genuine joy. What school doesn't teach you is that happiness is an inside-out job. Nothing external will ever fill the internal void. Now remember, the road to happiness is not linear, but there's 3 signposts that can illuminate your path. 1, remove the invisible armor. 2, practice sitting with yourself. And 3, let go of fear. We all have a choice. Consider doing nothing and imagine your life 5 years from now. What does that look like? I'll leave you with this. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. Invest in it, nurture it, and watch your life transform. Thank you.